Hello friends, this is Blessed Prince. Now in this video, we're going to discuss how to create thread with anonymous classes. Okay, in the last two videos, I have discussed how to create a thread by extending the thread class and by implementing runnable interface. Okay, let's see with the demo, okay, how to create with threads with anonymous inner class. Now before to start with anonymous inner class, let me give you some basic understanding of creating threads. Okay, as a thread is available with our lang package, it is easily accessible here. Okay, let me simply create thread equal to new thread of. Okay, I may provide some name. Okay, let me say first thread. Okay, I can always choose to do that. Okay, and simply make some understanding here. Please listen. Okay, so I just print it. Okay, let's see. A thread is created successfully. Thread is created, but when if I want to start this thread, the start is going to invoke the run method. Okay, now if I need to execute the run method, okay, how can I do that? Fine, so this cannot be done here. Okay, thread is created, but how can I use this thread? How can I start the thread? Okay, now if I say start the thread, will it invoke the run method of my class? No, because now it is some local variable created within my main method. Okay, it is a local variable which is created. Like now with this, if I could run a method from my class, it is not possible, because when I start the thread, it is going to invoke my run method. Okay, suppose if I have some run method, let me say public void run method. Okay, here how when I start this thread, it is going to invoke this run method of my class. That is thread basics. No, that's why normally you create a thread so that's why you extend the thread class. Okay, whenever you wanted to create a thread, you extend from the thread class. Okay, so that that thread can access thread for that object. Okay, so either I can choose to extend from this class, or I can choose a separate class. Okay, so that's why we did like this. Okay, so now where we created a class called my thread, which is actually inheriting from thread. Okay, and here then we created, okay, instead of this we created, okay, so simply saying my thread thread reference equal to new my thread. Okay, fine, and I can name it as first thread. Yes, thread. Okay, so okay, I don't have a constructor here as first thread. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply create a constructor which takes a string, and I can name it. I can say the reference variable as name, and here I can always say my super class, that is super. I'm using the super class constructor, and I can pass this name. Okay, so the thread is created with that name. Okay, always I can do that. Thread is created. Now when I start the thread.start, now it is going to invoke the run method in my class. Okay, so which I am override. Okay, it is going to run this method, or whatever available here, it is going to run. Okay, in this principle we are working. But see, just to invoke this run method, I had created a class which is inheriting from this thread. Okay, so in an anonymous inner class, what we are going to do instead, okay, so I don't wanted a class to be created just to implement this run method. I don't want this class to be created. Okay, let me delete that, which is not going to be required. Okay, let's see how to do this with anonymous inner class. So anonymous class. So new, let me say how to do that. Okay, new thread, I'm going to create an object. Okay, new thread, and now here I'm going to say I'm going to implement my run method here itself. Okay, run method. Okay, and here I'm going to say start my thread. Okay, so meaning like to I instantiate thread. Okay, right, so new thread, and here I can pass my, okay, so the thread name, if you want, I can say first thread. Now here I don't require a class to extend from the thread and to create a reference. Okay, now instead I can directly say, okay, I'm creating a thread reference of a class which is extending the thread. Okay, so where there is no class, okay, that is why it termed as anonymous class. Okay, right. Now if not a class is required, okay, which inherits from thread, and then I will create that object and I will do that. So now here it is going to be simple. Let me say that integer x is equal to some 10, okay, x less than some, okay, some 15, x plus plus, and I'm going to do that. Okay, just print it. Okay, just print. What is that? We will get the name of the thread. Okay, so now how will I do that? So now I can, as it is inheriting from thread, like, so current thread, okay, as it is new thread objects, I can say current thread dot get name. Okay, plus I'm going to leave some space and I'm going to print this x. Okay, right, sorry, right, I'm going to do this. Okay, so now if I want to create another thread, okay, another thread, simply I'm going to say, okay, just I'm going to copy, okay, so another thread, okay, fine, another thread, let me say some second thread. Okay, so now it is going to run maybe some 20 to 25. Okay, let me say 20 to 25. Right, I've created another thread, and this is going to start this thread. Now, then how to do this with the same runnable interface. Now, when I choose a runnable interface, let me create, because we have a thread constructor which takes a runnable reference, and also I can give I'm talking about this. Okay, let me say thread. Okay, now here you can find this thing. Okay, runnable. This first argument is a runnable object and the string name. Now, in order to create a runnable reference, we used a class that is implementing runnable interface. So instead, I will say anonymous class. So I will say new runnable. Okay, new runnable. Okay, now here, notice it. Okay, new runnable, and here I can say that start my thread. Okay, so this is as if, okay, like I cannot instantiate an interface. Instead, a class can implement a runnable interface, and I can use that object as an argument to my thread. Okay, I can use that reference as an argument, first argument, as a runnable object to my thread class. Now here instead, without creating a class, I don't have a class which is implementing runnable. Okay, so that is why anonymous class, new runnable. Okay, this is going to be one argument, and by the way, I'm implementing this run method. Okay, and that argument actually ends here. Okay, so this is within this parenthesis. Okay, you can notice within this parenthesis. Okay, so if I want the thread name to be given, I can say comma, I can say this is going to be the third thread. Okay, third thread. Okay, so first argument of this thread, so that is a runnable object with anonymous class, and next string. Okay, that is my string, the next argument, and here I said start. So if I want to do some implementation here, let me just copy that, and here I will say, okay, here I'll say now as it is. Okay, now I'll say my thread dot current thread. Okay, now here let me take another value 30 and 35. Now here we have created 3 threads, okay, without having an extra class or this class extending from thread, or by I don't have an specific class which is implementing the interface. Okay, now instead I have done it in anonymous way. Let's see, try to run this. Okay, very well. Okay, so this is how, okay, the output may vary. Okay, sometimes, okay, so this is how you can implement with runnable by anonymous classes. Okay, hope you got this. Okay, thanks for watching. God bless you. See you in the next video.